Hello, in this video, I'm going to walk through the tutorial called the Greeter, your digital pal who's fun to be with. So this is actually the one of the tutorials in the Ethereum.org, but interestingly, if you go to the main page itself, there's a lot of tutorials about tokens and uh, kickstart your project, crowd sale, or your own organization, but it's actually not in this list. And it could be because all these tutorials you can do it per Ethereum wallet. However, if you are a developer and if you want to start writing code, at some point you have to start switching to command lines. And this greeter is actually very short and it's great tutorial to start with. And if you go through the code, it has something called mortal and the greeter. And all the solidity tutorial is already done at the token tutorial, so I'm not going to go too much detail. But basically, what it does is this is a main bit, and in the greeter contract, this is a constructor function which is called when you create a contract. Then you take the string, and if you greet, you just return the greeting string. So in this Sulk compiler, it kind of expects you that you already install something called Sulk, which is a compiler to compile this Solidity code into the bytes code. But so far you all had this wallet, so you don't know where to start. And to actually start, if you look into command line, and if you do guess, there's actually one called guess is running, and this is you will actually see that if you go to this Ethereum node, you will be either selecting Guess, which is a Go version of Ethereum node, or ETH, which is a C++ version. And also, if you are either choosing main or test network, that kind of stuff. And so wallet is just a scheme, but on the back, it's running this Guess code. So if you actually do copy and paste the whole path of the guess, and if you do attach, you can actually go to the console. This is one way to get into the console page, or another way is if I stop this one, probably doesn't work, and let's check. So there's no guess up and running. You can actually start it by yourself. So if you do guess testnet console, you can connect by yourself. And I actually found out a bit later. So before I did that, I actually installed Guess by myself. So if you go to the Go Ethereum's wiki page, it actually tells you how to install. In this case, it's for Mac using Homebrew, but there should be instruction in your operating environment as well. So if you assume if you installed it, then like if you go to which I'll make it a bit bigger. Guess it's installed. So and another thing you could do is testnet account list. You can also see list of account you already registered. And so now let's go to guess testnet console. You can go to the console, and in this instruction, it first asks you to check if there's a compiler installed. So if I do this, in my case it says Solidity, But if you haven't installed something called soak by yourself, it will be just an empty array. And if you go to the Solidity's web page, it actually tells you how to install Solidity in various packages, Node.js or binary. And unfortunately, when I tried like a OS X, Homebrew, and also installing via Node.js, and also I even tried to install via actually I tried to compile it from the source. None of them worked. So if I try to do this tutorial, so this one says copy and paste this one. By the way, this console looks like just a same as a Node.js console, so it's just JavaScript. And if I do this, so this one is like yeah, it tried to put the Solidity contract into Greta source, and they try to compile. I actually get the segmentation fault error, which I'm still not able to fix it. Then is it? Well, actually, there's a way to work around to use browser-based compiler. So I already copy and pasted this whole code. And once it's copy and paste, it gives you some various information. And for this tutorial, what you need is a bytecode, which is a compiled version of the code, and also the interface. It's just a JSON array which defines what kind of functions are listed. So what I did is, in the next line, it tells you to set a contract byte. This is another thing I find it a bit confusing. Is this one says ABI definition. But when you go to this compiler, nowhere it says ABI, but actually ABI is same as this interface stuff. So I did put at the contract place I put this copy and paste ABI interface, and for the data part I copy and paste the binary code. So do that diff. Yeah, you can actually see that at this part I put this interface and the bytecode and pass that to code and ABI definition. So if I go this one, let's do both. Let's do one by one. Yeah. So let's do, and I do have this array of object which shows kill, greet. So these are two functions, and each of them, if you expect inputs, you can put something. Oh yeah. So I think this is in the constructor. It has an inputs of a string, greeting as a string, and also for the greet, you don't specify anything into input, hence it's array, empty array. But in the output, you can see what kind of things you're gonna get, which is a string. And if I do the greet contract, this one I passed it, and make sure you have the account created on your wallet or in the guest. Otherwise, it says the guest doesn't know who you create account as. And oh yeah, actually to check whether you have the account on the guest is like do guest testnet account yeah, you can see the list, and this is my main one. So I think when you do web3.s account 0, that means it takes the first one. Okay, and so now I will copy and paste this greeter thingy, and yeah, to create a contract I had to put a password for the account, main account. Okay, so now my contract is put into the Ethereum blockchain, and I have to wait until it says contract is mined. So now contract is mined. Greeter, we can see the address, same address, and then we can see the list of functions. So if you do greet hello world,